In racing, safety comes first, and today safety is more important than ever. Introducing SaniCore by Silverthorne Industries, the safe and powerful way to stay protected. SaniCore offers hand sanitizer and bottles or convenient single-use packs. Safe, powerful, SaniCore.
This is WFO Radio.
Hey everybody, Joe Costello back with you, WFO. It is Thursday, it is 4 p.m. Eastern, and for me, this is it, the end of the week, a busy week, a long week, and I'm getting ready to get settled in front of my NHRA.TV and watch the Dodge Finals presented by Pennzoil at the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is going to be awesome. Championships will be decided, all kinds of great stuff. And we're going to dive in on this particular episode. Super excited about what we got in a couple of minutes. He's waiting in the green room right now. Aaron Stanfield, first-time winner, Camping World Drag Racing Series, Pro Stock. I called it, baby. Woo! Now, listen, I've been calling this for a while. As soon as he got the full-time gig, I was like, dude, definitely going to happen, and it happened, and we're going to speak with Aaron in a second from now. And then once we let Aaron go, because he's got to go get ready to go to Vegas, we're going to do a little mini happy hour here with you guys, the WFO Radio listeners. We're going to talk championship and whatever you guys want to talk about. Like, throw the subjects out. I'll do my best. We'll banter back and forth. And that's what it's all about. But first, got to tell you about the sponsors, the people make it possible. You just heard about SaniCore and Silverthorne Industries. These guys doing a great job. Hand sanitizer, staying healthy. How on earth would we, drag racing, have made it back without these guys and the gallons and the packets and everything? You need them in your shop. You need to support the companies that support drag racing. Silverthorne is it. SaniCoreUSA.com. Go to the website, go to the Facebook page, do a little interaction. There's drag racing stuff on there, by the way, and really appreciate Tony Shortall and these guys coming on board to support WFO Radio. Talking about SaniCore, they got great bundles, and you need to get in on it because that's a great way to stay safe. Also, Total Seal Piston Rings. Just got off with Keith Jones, and we did a new episode of Hidden Horsepower. This with Al Parker, Sprint car engines, Mountain Motor Pro Stock engines, and learned so much. He even gave an anecdote about Jim Yates and Warren Johnson and the Dodge Boys. Out of nowhere, all of a sudden, we're talking about the Dodge Boys, and that's what Hidden Horsepower is all about. But really, it's all an exercise so that you, as bracket racers, sportsman racers, consider using Total Seal piston rings. And if you're not, you should. Simple as that. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure. It's been a while since I played the old Dragster Adventure video. November 20th. You and your friends. Gainesville, Florida. The Fall Adventure. They got a special one going on down there. You could drive a dragster. You could whoop your friends. You could set up a race. Call Frank. Go to frankhawley.com. Tell him you heard about it on WFO Radio. It will be fun. Maybe you can become the next Aaron Stanfield, although that's highly doubtful. No offense. SAMTech.edu. So everything is tied into Aaron Stanfield today somehow, some way. Did you know that Aaron is also the SAMTech.edu Factory Stock Showdown World Champion? Yes, and that he's won 4 consecutive races going into the final race here in Vegas? Yes, SAMTech.edu. And they've got a couple of grads that help out on the Showdown team. Right? And what is it? Conifer? He'll tell us. It's like a blended name because there's 2 guys. They graduated. They did a great job. And SAMTech got them started off right. Now they world champions. How cool is that? SAMTech.edu. And Marvin Rodak down there in Fort Worth, Texas. This one is not connected to Aaron Stanfield in any way. Marvin just makes great coffee. I don't know if Aaron drinks coffee, but that's the best I can do. But Marvin is a great drag racing fan and is roasting coffee fresh per your order right now. Give him a call right now, 817-924-6821. That's Marvin Rodak. Also, shout out to Nitro Fish, where you can get our merch and our gear, WFO Radio t-shirt, the 10th anniversary t-shirt, which is very much in demand. 10th anniversary of this podcast, nitrofishracing.com. And if you hang around a little bit later on in the show, I'll tell you how to get some free stickers and a WFO Radio face covering for just $10. But let's bring him on, the newest winner in Camping World Drag Racing Pro Stock, Mr. Aaron Stanfield. Aaron, welcome back to WFO. How are you as a winner?
Good, Joe. How you doing?
I am great. I'm thrilled. I knew this was coming. You've been on many times. I could just the way you carry yourself as a young man, young racer, but I did not expect that it would all happen like championship and showdown dominance and pro stock victory all at once. How is this for you to just like break out in a big way?
Of course I've dreamed of all of these things, to accomplish them. But even myself, it'd be hard to dream all of that up on one single day. It's still unbelievable to me, really.
You were emotional in the winner circle with Amanda, and she has that effect on a lot of people. Don't get me wrong, but you could see it washing over you. It wasn't theoretical anymore. It was real. It's something that will never be taken away. You have achieved a new status.
For sure. I mean, I've grown up around pro stock and around drag racing, and I watched my dad fight to get his first win, and he was always my hero, and it's something some kids dream of being a professional football player, baseball player, or I wanted to be just like my dad and be a professional drag racer. So to be able to get that accomplishment just meant the world to me, and it was for sure tough to hold back the tears.
Yeah, well, you don't need to hold them back. I think everybody would have been cool. I understand why. Don't get me wrong. We got people weighing in out there on Facebook. Larry Spider-Man McBride saying what's up, and Jeff out there in Illinois saying what's up. Bruce out there, good morning. He's in Australia. We got Australian viewers out there. What's up, guys, down under, down there in Oz? We really appreciate all of our Australian drag racing fans. Jeff is out there saying what's up. Derek saying congratulations to Justin. I don't know what, maybe he's on a different show. Good luck this weekend, says Terry. We're going to talk about all that. Oh, here's one. Celebrity. Michael Heiner. Congratulations, Aaron. Tried a little too hard to beat you second round of the showdown and spun. Aaron, from a young man we knew, he was going to be great for the sport. What does it mean to you to have your, guys that have been lifers in the sport, like giving you that kind of cred? You've made it.
I mean, it's unbelievable. All these pro stock guys have been, some of them been around for a good while, and they remember me back from a little kid, just fight my way to try to get up on the start line, and maybe getting kicked off once or twice, and to be able to sit down and compete in one is just, and to be able to see all those guys, give me some support. It means a lot.
Okay, so Reinhardt was on the other day. We've had a busy week, Aaron. We had, Reinhardt, we broke down the race, had great conversation. Tony Schumacher following day, and Tommy Johnson and Eddie Krawick, and now you. Like, this one has been a busy, busy week, but I do remember some of the things that were said, and Reinhardt mentioned that he tweeted out a link, and we're going to watch that now. I'm going to have to manipulate the audio a little bit, okay, because there's music playing in the background. And then if that music goes out over this, we're not licensed to play the music. I'm going to do my best, but let's just watch and enjoy this video, and then we will discuss the video, which this is Greg Stanfield's first win, Sept 21st, 2008, the 23rd O'Reilly NHRA Fall Nationals.
Time ever in the Pro Stock Winner Circle, folks. He is Greg Stanfield.
There he is. And that's where I mute the music, because it's a song, same old ball and chain. Look at that kid, though. Who is that kid, Aaron? Who's that kid? Now here Reinhardt comes in. Let's listen. Oh, no, they're still jamming. And look at that. He's saying something to you right there.
Champion. Special, very special. This team has worked so hard to get us here. So many hours, blood, sweat, and tears. If you'd asked me Saturday if we could have won here today, I'd said no way. But we never give up. Everybody dug down deep, and Lord bless us today, and pull one off. Final round. Jake Coughlin's in the other lane. You get down there about half track, plug it in high gear, and look over. Did you think you were winning? I never looked over. Liar. I never looked over. I just tucked my head down, and I just, come on, baby, keep going. Let's go. Oh, wait a minute. You're in a pro stock car, and you're tucking? Chris is supposed to do that. It's just one of the things in this class here, first one there wins. So I was just hoping that win light right there when they came on, it was just broke down crying. It's been a long time, and my family's here. It's pretty special. Tommy Lane, Mike Stryker, my brother, Larry, the truck driver, Mr. Bill, everybody at the shop. I mean, it's been so long, for us to get this, and that's pretty special.
Don't wait so long to come see us again, huh?
We're going to try it again. Thanks. This is basically my hometown track right here, and thanks for everybody coming out.
He's out of Louisiana, folks. He's at Division 4. He's your black Stanfield Pro Stock Champion.
And look at that kid. Look at that kid. And there you guys go. And you're off. One moment, please. And how about that? All right, Aaron, now that you've seen that, do you remember that? Can you take yourself back to that moment?
Absolutely. If memory serves me right, I believe he qualified number 16 for that race. And, he was frustrated for sure. They had been struggling, and we had just rolled in Saturday night, and we picked him up on the side of the road. He was walking out of the track, and so we went, and he wanted to kind of clear his head, and we went to the speed zone, and of course race some go-karts and stuff like that. And he for sure wasn't expecting to win, but it just goes to show you, something he's taught me is to never give up and just keep fighting. And that's what he did. And he got something that he had been dreaming of as well.
And how old were you there? You're chewing gum and you're hanging out with your dad, and it's like, it's 2008, makes me feel a little bit old, but how old were you?
Let's see, if I'm 25 now, and it's 2020, so 12 years, so 13, 14 years old.
13-year-old kid, had your sunglasses, you were hanging out. And I got to say, that's a little bit of a blast from the past. First of all, Powerade days. And the winner circle, man, I want to get back to those winner circle celebrations. They're so much fun. And the babes on the stage, did that distract you at all? You can be.
Yeah. Maybe as a 13, 14-year-old for sure.
And the Texas Motorplex, that's okay. So Texas, those things are similar. You guys both got your first win in Texas, and you both got your first win against Jeg. These are interesting coincidence.
It's crazy how things work for sure. Houston and Dallas are basically our hometown tracks. So that's where we go and test our race cars, and it's pretty cool to get it done there.
Oh, amazing. McNeil Freeman is out there saying, awesome, awesome, awesome. You the man. And we get congratulations. And Derek is apologizing profusely for typing the word Justin. He says he's getting old. I know how you're feeling, Derek. I get it completely. Awesome day of racing for you, Aaron. Let's talk about your round by round, because it was, first of all, you've been running well. We spoke in Gainesville, and you told me that you're in a different car now, and it's built more closely for someone your size, and that feeling comfortable in the car is very important for you to be successful. And when you told me that, I thought, all right, it's on now. So start from there and feeling comfortable in the car.
We went testing in Tulsa, and my first runs in the car, I had some decent reaction times. And, whenever I went to RJ Race Cars, they really got me comfortable, and they got the pedals and all the geometry correct. For my size, I'm a little bit smaller than some of the drivers. So
yeah, me too.
So they were able to get everything right, and along with me, gaining some experience and figuring out how hard to push a clutch in and some things like that. It really showed in Gainesville. So, I felt like I did a decent job behind the wheel in Gainesville, and we just fell a little short.
And while we're at this moment, I've really worn out my I warmed up a pro stock car story, but that very minor experience really showed me a lot. You mentioned clutch pedal pressure and how it's trying to throw your foot off of it. And these are things that people can't understand without feeling it. So give me a difficulty ranking. You've done a lot of stuff, Top Dragster, Super Stock, Showdown. You've done a lot in your young career. So now that you've won a race, tell the audience, how hard is driving a pro stock car well?
I've hopped in many, several different types of cars, and I wouldn't say right out the box I was good, but I definitely, the Pro Stock car I struggled with it more than any car I've hopped in and driven. It just, there's a lot that goes into it as far as throttle control and as well as pressure on the clutch pedal. It's trying to push your foot off the clutch, but you have to, if your foot barely moves, the car is going to take off, and that's that's happened to me before as well. So just finding that happy spot of pressure and just getting ready. That 4/10 tree comes really fast in comparison to the 5/10 tree that I've grew up racing. So just experience has really helped me, and I'm still learning, still getting better, still trying to get consistent. So that's it's been good to have. I've had a lot of help along the way.
Yes, one of the young lions. I'm going to ask Aaron, everybody. So start a watch party or call them. I'm going to ask him about the 3 retirement, all-stars, Bo, Jason, Jeg. We got to celebrate these guys because this is their last race coming up this weekend, and I don't want it to be lost. I want to make a big deal of this. This is kind of like a Pro Stock happy hour a little bit. But let's talk about qualifying 4th, first round, Kenny Delco. We were all super stoked to see Kenny back out there after what happened to him in St. Louis. The final couple races shows his tenacity, but you're 0-12 and you run a 55-1, and that's what it took to beat him to go to the second round. So just tell me about getting getting rid of the first round jitters.
For me, I still don't have too many rounds of competition under my belt. So, there's always a little bit of first round jitters, always some nerves. And I think if you're not a little nervous or have a little bit of adrenaline going, it, that can work against you. And I think adrenaline sometimes plays and nerves play into my favor. So it was I just focused and did my job, and we made a good run, and that kind of set us up for the rest of the day.
I'm so proud of this show, not for anything that I do necessarily, but because of the audience. To me, it's amazing that we have the audience that we do. And if we're ever going to grow into something like giant, it's going to be because we've got this amazing VIP audience. Like, look who's out there, Rick Jones. Very proud to see Aaron win last week. It's been awesome to see him evolve as an awesome driver. And, there's the guy building the cars, Rick Jones, who, by the way, we did like a KB Pro Stock happy hour. Rick, how about the elite Rick Jones Pro Stock happy hour, so we get the other side of the universe? Let's do that in the future. But what does it mean to you when a guy like Rick Jones has such great things to say?
Rick and Ricky have put a lot of effort into helping me as a driver, and trying to make sure I'm in the best equipment. So whenever I see him say something like that, it means a lot. Like I said, I've known these guys for a long time, and to have them on my corner, it's awesome.
That is great, and great people. Like Rick Jones is a great guy, and has, by the way, volunteered to come on WFO like whenever I want, and I haven't put him to work nearly enough, so we're going to have to do that. Especially now that the off season's coming, Rick. But you got to finish the job. You get what I mean? Second round, Troy Coughlin Jr. And Troy had a problem over there. Looked like he pushed through the beam, maybe had a problem. I don't know if you know or caught up with them, or it was shared within the team. I'm excited to see you guys race for the next 10 years. But what was it that decided this one?
I think so. I'm unsure what happened to his car, but we stayed focused. I didn't have as good as a light, but we made a really good run. I think we were going to be pretty hard to beat right there. And
54-8, and was it lower the round? Yeah, that was lower the round.
I think hopefully if we continue, if I get to continue and TJ gets to continue, I'm sure we'll get to duke it out several more times, racing each other.
No doubt. But by winning that round, and we're seeing a sea change here. I mentioned the 3 guys that are going out. We're going to talk about them. But TJ, I still consider Alex Laughlin like a fresh face, new guy who is likable and marketable and all of these things. Mason McGahey, another one. But Kid Chaos, Kyle Koretsky, what a nice kid, good kid. Like all the craziness went to the captain, and this kid is like awesome. And now you guys are squaring up for a shot to go to the final, another potential rivalry for the next 10 years if everything goes well. You guys are both 30. You're 31. He's 33. It's a very close race. You both run 6:54, but you left first 2 thou and ran better 7 thou, and that was good enough to go to the final.
Yes, we made a really, really good run. And again, I did enough on the Christmas tree to make it happen. And Kyle's he's going to be, or he is an awesome racer, and he's going to, his win's coming for sure one day. And I know he's trying to get that win for his family as well. My dad was sponsored by Kenny Koretsky back in the day, so I've known Kenny for a pretty good while, and he's always been very supportive of me as well. So it's pretty cool to get to line up against another generation of racers.
No, it's awesome. It's awesome. And everybody out there, like I'm always trying to get people to share the show, retweet the show, push the show for selfish purposes. But in this case, Pro Stock, like this is a big moment for Pro Stock. Think about the names we're talking about. Captain Chaos and Eddie, who is tuning Hartford's car now, won the U.S. Nationals with your dad in 2010, which is an event that helped launch WFO Radio, because Kenny brought us into Maple Grove and helped us keep going with that. Like, this is all connected in many ways, and I'm just so excited. Hey, look at this. Rick Jones has agreed to come on the happy hour show. So we'll have a elite Pro Stock happy hour.
There we go.
Jones is going to be on. It's going to be great. But Michael Heiner wants to know if he can crash it. Maybe. We'll see. Well, we shall see. All right, let's get back to the results. That's a good reason for people to watch. So setting up the final round against Jeg. And Jeg had a brutal day, and he goes through. Jeg gets through Hartford. Hartford goes 15 and a 55, and it wasn't enough. Jeg gets through. Jeg versus Erica. Big time run there. Erica 6 thou early, and that sets up this weekend that we've got coming up. Jeg versus Greg. Epic rivalry. Jeg goes through, and now it's Aaron and Jeg in the final round. And this brings me to, I'm pretty sure your first ever Pro Stock round was at the U.S. Nationals, and it was against Jeg Coughlin, and you beat him. Do you remember that?
Yep, he red lighted, but yes, we got the round win there. That was my first round of competition in Pro Stock.
And you don't consider it a real win, though. I could tell because red light. That doesn't really count.
Well, he has whooped up on me several times since then. Time and time again, he's taken me to school. So I was excited to, I'm the type of person that doesn't want to run away from from getting my butt kicked by somebody that, might or might not be better than me. Because I want to be the best. So the only way to do that is to race and beat the best.
I think you have to go woo after you say that, because
for
it's
sure.
a Ric Flair thing. You want to be the man, you got to beat the man.
That's
and you
right.
beat the man. He's 015, you're 024. So you stepped up your game a little bit, and you needed that. But the run 53.5 to his 61.1, that was not going to, you were not getting beaten, is the bottom line. He could have been tripped. Whatever problem or issue they had, only 207 miles per hour, combined with your best run of the day, and maybe low ET of race day with a 53.5. So tell me about setting up for the run, and then the all-important win light come on moment where you go from being the kid of a guy who won a Pro Stock race to a guy who won a Pro Stock race.
I knew that Jaggy was having some issues. I heard him come on the radio and had said that he couldn't get his car started. So, and then I saw him do a short burnout. But like I've said before, Jaggy is, he's unshakable, like they said on the show. And he's ice cold. So I knew I was still going to have to bring my game. And, I wasn't exactly what I wanted to be on the tree, but I was, I was close enough to him on the tree, even if he did not have issues, it was going to be really hard to beat us because we just made a really, really good run.
Low ET. Incredible.
And then we go through the finish line. I see the wind light come on, and I was just kind of in disbelief. And I heard Jake come on the radio, and I always tell him he sounds like Days of Thunder on the radio. And that's just an unreal feeling to for just that moment there, and just turning off the racetrack, and I just overwhelmed with excitement and just really happy.
That's what it is. And that moment, congratulations, you just won the race. You beat Jeg. What a great day. Oh, by the way, you got to go because Factory Stock Showdown was in the water box and the job wasn't over. You had other things going on. You had to win that race. So let's transition to the rest of that. All of a sudden, you got to go back and race again and forget everything that just happened and hustle. So take me through. Like, we saw you on the stage with the Wally.
Yep, I literally ran to the golf cart from the stage.
Well, I can imagine. You had to bolt.
Yep, we had to bolt. Arthur and David Barton, I believe, were going down the racetrack whenever we had just gotten on the golf cart, and I heard they were nice enough to wait on me, and I went up and gave everybody a hug, gave my dad a hug, wiping the tears off my face and crawling in another race car, and my thing is whenever I hop in a car is just to clear your head and focus and really, really focus and do what you're supposed to do. And we were able to get that round win against Mark Powick and go on to the final round with a chance of a double.
How crazy is it? And so getting by Powick, obviously big deal. And is that where you locked up the championship? Was it that run? It's kind of a blur to me. It was pretty much a foregone conclusion. Also, I think your thumb is covering the camera. Everybody is
sorry.
Yeah, there it is. No, but I might as well mention it, right? But it's all a blur to me. When exactly did you lock up the championship? Was it the run against Powick? Because I think it's incredible that your dad beats Jeg for his first win. You beat Jeg for your first round win. You beat Jeg for your first event win, and you get to run Mark Powick, Cowboy, another legend in our sport, great guy, great racer, for another milestone, either en route to the championship or for the championship.
We had locked it up the round before, but it's still really cool to get to race somebody like him and the history he has in the sport, and that he continues to have. So it was, still always a blast to get to race him. I know he's going to bring his A game against me, and and Kevin Helms does an awesome job with the car, and I knew it was going to be a good race.
Yes, and you go on and you win that one, which I believe makes 16 straight round wins in SAMTech.edu Factory Stock Showdown, one of our favorite categories, obviously. And we mentioned SAMTech, and you've been on our SAMTech Factory Stock podcast, and you've got some SAMTech grads that work for you guys, and delivering a championship like that whole, people don't realize, like, that's a whole team element independent of what happens with Elite and Pro Stock. Like, for Elite and Pro Stock, you are a hired gun. The Janik brothers pay for the car, and Elite does the thing, and you drive the car and then bolt and go over and tune cars for other people and drive one yourself. We always joke about how busy you are on race day, but this was the epitome of that moment.
Yes.
Right there.
It was busy on a whole nother level for sure. We take care of 4 Factory Stock Showdown cars. So we're, along with many other great stock and super stock comp eliminator customers here and there. And, shout out to Colin and Connor. They've, and I call them Colliner. I heard you talk about it.
Right. Colliner. I knew it was like Bennifer. Colliner. Exactly.
And they both come running for whatever we need. And, they're awesome. They've spent a lot of time with me in the shop, and it's, not all the time do you find somebody your age that's as passionate or more passionate even than you are yourself. And, to be able to get to work hard alongside of them and, see their talents and you know, see what they've got their own talents, but what SAMTech was able to do for them. And, you know, this championship wouldn't be possible without them, wouldn't be possible without my dad, my Uncle Mike. You know, we've all worked really, really hard on this program.
No, it's great. And the story is, and you told us in a past episode before we were live streaming, that your dad was kind of, I don't want to say he was done, but he definitely wasn't wanting to do this. And you being interested in doing this and kind of, I don't want to say forcing the deal, but showing the drive and determination that all right, if the kid wants to do it, let's do it. And here you guys are campaigning all these cars and building engines and pretty much back with these Stanfield prepared cars. And now you're a Pro Stock winner. Pretty amazing.
Yep. It's awesome. You know, my dad's always told me in anything I've ever done, he pushes me to be the best, and he's helped me to be the best. So whenever I was, you know, first starting college, I told him that I wanted to follow his footsteps and learn how to build engines and work on race cars. And he told me I was absolutely nuts. But I still wanted to do it anyways. I feel like it was almost fate to do it.
Well, the sport needs guys like you. When we lose Jeg, who, you know, like 74 wins, 6 championships, 7 categories, 5 in Pro Stock. Jason, 51 wins, 4 championships overall, 3 in Pro Stock. Bo, 2 championships, 1 in Pro Stock, 26 wins, 11 in Pro Stock. Like those 3 guys, to have them all decide I'm done in the same year with full-time points racing. Jeg has said he'll run occasionally, etc. But that could be damaging. And thank goodness we've got you and we've got TJ and we've got Kid Chaos and we've got Mason who are going to step up. But I would love to hear, you know, the young lion talk a little bit about the, no offense, guys, the old lions. And I'm just going to say a name and you tell me like what you think. And I'll start off with Bo and we'll go in reverse order. Bo Butner, you know, guys won in comp. The guy wins in everything he does.
I remember, you know, I think it was Bowling Green was actually the first time I met Bo, and he was just starting to hop in a Pro Stock car and learn how to drive with the KB guys. And you know, he's always been really, really nice to me, and you know, always encouraged me to do good. And you know, the class is definitely going to lose a good person, a good racer. You know, we definitely hate to see that, but he's you know, he's left his mark on the class, and I'm sure he'll continue to you know, leave his mark on drag racing. He's I think he's one of the more versatile drivers out there, and as you can see, he competes in several different classes.
Yeah,
that's something I admire.
Well, how many classes have you won in now? Because Jeg is the leader with 7, and then there's a couple of guys tied at 6. And, you know, obviously you've got Top Dragster and you've got SAMTech Factory Stock Showdown and you've got Super Stock and now you've got Pro Stock. Is it 4 or is there another
4.
one?
Yep, just 4.
Just 4. Yeah, 25. He's only got 4. What's wrong, Aaron? Seriously.
Should be I need to step it up a little bit.
You need to work harder and faster and more efficiently. Definitely. All right. Next, Jason Line, a guy who came up from Stock Eliminator, maybe very similar to you, right? In that the whole sports and racing, stock, super stock universe, and now up to Pro Stock. So when you think about Jason, what do you think?
He's somebody that I really, really have always looked up to in the sport. A lot of times, and even myself, you know, I just hop in the Pro Stock car and just drive it. So all my focus goes toward driving. You know, he's a lot like my dad, and he can build it, he can tune it, and he can drive it, and that's a rare breed of racer, to be able to have all 3 of those qualities. So that's something I really, really admire. And, you know, and just all 3 of these guys you're talking about have left their mark on the sport. And, you know, it's going to be, you know, not a good thing to see him go, but I get it. It's, you know, he thinks it's time and he wants to, you know, spend some time with his family and, you know, maybe focus a little more on the engine programs. And I totally understand that. But like I said, he's somebody that I've always looked up to.
I just I smile because I wonder how long these retirements are going to last. Like, I don't know. Like Jason's like, that's it. I'm out of here. And I believe him that he believes that right now. Will he believe that in 2022 after a couple of years just kicking around the shop and whatever? There's a feeling that you get from being in that car that you can only get being in that car. And so you never know. Maybe we pull him back. All right. Finally, the natural. Jag, the guy, the ultimate sportsman racer who comes on and goes on to win 5 Pro Stock World Championships and is really the drag racing equivalent to a Jeff Gordon type. It just does everything right. What do you think of Jag?
He's a perfectionist, and I can see that being. I haven't in the past got to race around him really, and really getting in detail and getting to race around him and see his his driving style and things like that. He's just a perfectionist, and he is in my eyes, he is one of the best that's ever hopped in any drag racing car for sure. And just look at how he was driving on Sunday. It was just unreal, really. He's ice cold and nothing shakes him. So I tell him, I've told him this several times. I said, Jaggy, you've just got too much talent to just hang it, to just hang it up. So I don't know. We'll see. I hope he doesn't totally hang it up because he's a legend of the sport. And, I think he's still got what it takes to go out and compete at the highest level. So, we're going to miss him for sure.
Absolutely. I think Jag, if memory serves me right, Jag's full-time points chasing retirement, which makes sense, which means he could run the U.S. Nationals. He could dip in and out for certain races. So I don't know that we're going to lose Jaggy completely. Same with Bo. I don't know if we're going to lose Bo completely. There'll be some times where he works a deal to get in a race car, I think. Jason, I don't know because he does all those things you mentioned. But yeah, very sad. Thank you so much for helping me memorialize these guys and their careers. It would mean so much if you love Pro Stock, and I know you do. So let me ask you one more question since we're on it. You said one of the greatest. When you think of the greatest, like as a kid who came up in Pro Stock and loves Pro Stock and wants other people to love Pro Stock, and we're doing this whole transition, Erica got a real good shot to win another back-to-back title. We'll see how that all works out. Jag is still in the mix. Jason's still in the mix. It's going to be wild. Either one of those could win in their final year. But go back through history. I'm sure you've kicked this around at some point. The guys that are out there. There's Glidden, there's WJ, there's Greg, there's Grump, there's all these guys. Maybe it's somebody that I'm not even mentioning or thinking of, but just, speak on that as a 25-year-old.
My dad's always been my hero, and not just from a aspect of driving, but he is a lot like Jason. Just he can drive it, he can build it, and he can tune it. And he was always most of the time an underdog and underfunded. And he had to do all those things to make it work. But if my dad wasn't my dad, of course he's going to be my hero. I would say that Erica is for sure probably the best that's ever hopped in one of these cars. She's ridiculous. And she performs under pressure almost every single time. She hits her shifts. She drives it perfect. I think she's set a bar. She set a bar for everybody to try to hit if they want to be the best. So that's
great. Listen,
she's awesome.
Well, you know what? I think so too. And constantly fighting an uphill battle against expectations and all of that stuff, and seemingly always achieving. And so we'll see what happens this weekend. I don't want to, build too much pressure upon the whole situation, but if it were to happen, she would be in rare air among the greatest of the great as a 4-time champion and a 2-time back-to-back champion, which that's just kind of crazy. Aaron, and you're a champion too in the SAMTech Factory Stock Showdown, and maybe someday a Pro Stock World Champion. I guess I should ask you plans for next year, since this is the final race. You may not have it locked in, and it may not be okay to talk about. If that's the case, tell me that I can't talk about it. But if you think you're going to be back, we want to know that.
As of right now, our plans are to to continue to race pro stock and compete for a championship. And we're also going to continue the Factory Stock Showdown with the Janik brothers, and just kind of get that full year this coming up year that we didn't quite get this year, and see how we shake out.
There you go. And to the Janik brothers, if they were to happen to see this, I'm sure they're very busy and they don't have time to be watching shows on Facebook or YouTube. But thank you for giving this kid a chance to do this, because he's got the talent, and that's evident now by the fact that you got a Wally. Aaron, thank you very much. Congratulations. A lot of good things happening in your life. It's tough times out there in the world, but it's things like this that keep everybody positive, right? Watching you go out there and do good things and advancing the ball, not just for you, but for pro stock and for drag racing, and being a good person to follow. So congratulations, good job, and good luck this weekend. Maybe you go get another one. Who knows?
Yep, that's the plan. I don't show up to the racetrack for any other reason but to win. So we're going to try our best for sure.
That's great. Aaron, thank you very much. Congratulations. Say hi to your dad, and good luck this weekend.
Will do. Thank you, Joe.
There he goes. Aaron Stanfield with us here on WFO Radio. And how about that kid? He's an uber talent and prodigy. You saw the video. He's there with his dad. They're on stage after the first win, 2008. Here he is. He gets his own first win in 2020. And he can drive it. He can build it. He can do it. All of those things. And very exciting. All right, everybody. It's now officially happy hour. Yes, that's right. I don't have a happy hour guest. I should have asked Aaron if he was willing, but the kid's got to stay sharp. Check this out. Jeff Alt, who has been posting on our Facebook page, he made these for me years ago. It is a WFO Radio bottle opener. Cheers to all you folks out there. Congratulations to Aaron. I am super excited. We're going to have our little Vegas pre-race party right now. Let's put this over here. Oh, man, the battery died? There it is. Oh, the battery's dead. See, it's trying. There it is. Vegas, baby. Here we go. We are ready for a big race this weekend. The Dodge Finals, presented by Pennzoil, of the Strip at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I am very, very excited and also greatly annoyed that I am not going to be there. But I'm going to try to get over it with a little fun right here with you, the listeners, and our great comments, and see what you guys have to say. And watching on NHRA.tv is not so bad. It's good. It's not as good as being there, but it's good. The race is sold out, max capacity, of course, limited capacity, but still, it's good that they're going to fill the place, whatever the law says and the regulation says. You're going to see some great racing. Let's get some comments up there, but I'm going to talk a little bit about the Nitro Championships. Obviously, in pro stock, I'll start there since I got the points up. Erica leads by 55 over Jeg and Jason, who are both tied. Greg is 183 back. Hartford's 206 back. So there's kind of an interesting battle for 4th, 5th, and 6th. Aaron is 7th, 270 back. It depends on what happens with it being points and a half, but I would say 4th through 7th, they could swap some positions depending on who goes out first round or whatnot. But the top 3, Erica, Jeg, Jason. Erica has the advantage, but anything can happen. An early round out. This is pro stock where races are decided by a 1,000th of a second. Very, very often, anything can happen. But in this case, there's been a freight train going on in pro stock, and her name is Erica Enders, and she is highly motivated from last year on, and there's not really been anything that has changed that. Erica is just, when the moment is monster, she rises to the occasion, and did go red against Jeg. That was very tough. Obviously, you're going up against Jeg, you got to push it. And sometimes you're going to be great, and sometimes you're going to be red. And the opposite could happen this week, because that's true for Erica as well. But those are the points in Pro Stock. Pro Stock Motorcycle, we spoke about it with Eddie. If you didn't watch our show with Eddie yesterday, Eddie told us what he's going to do. He's 78 back, tied with Scotty Polachek behind Matt Smith. What is Eddie going to do to try to get next to Matt Smith early on? It's points and a half, but 78 is a lot. And If you can run Matt Smith first round, there's a good chance Matt is going to be the number one qualifier. You just got to do like Greg Anderson did a year ago at the Auto Club Finals in Pomona and get next to him. Just do it. Just get next to him. Eddie laid it out for us. If you didn't watch that show, big mistake. He laid out the strategy, how he's going to go about the process. So you should definitely watch that. There's kind of some humor in there, but I'm not going to tell you about it. And then, funny car. Phil Burgess, editor of NHRA National Dragster on NHRA.com, does a much better job than I ever could. And so I want you to go to NHRA.com and read Phil's editorial. But Tommy's 42 back, Beckman 43 back. Still pretty much wide open. Burgess gives all the scenarios, including, and something I hadn't really considered or thought of, but you should and I should, crossing the center line. Those penalties. Hagan's already done it once. If he crosses the center line, that's 10 points subtracted. Tommy and Beckman are only at a 5-point infraction. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that would be like if that came into play, factored? Pretty amazing. But go check out Burgess's column on NHRA.com. I could read it to you, but then everybody that watches this show would not have to go to NHRA.com and read it, and I think you should. And also, it's quite technical, maybe beyond my communication abilities. As hard as that is to believe. And then finally, Top Fuel, where Steve Torrance, who, if you didn't see our Facebook page takeover from last week, was really great. So much info about baby Torrance being on the way. And, we talked about the passing of Erica Lane, which is still on everybody's mind. Still, as in, it's only been a couple of weeks and it's just devastating. But it just goes to show you how, the show must go on. The race must go on. We all go on. But every day I'm thinking about Hop, like, why? And Steve said some really eloquent, nice things. And he's got a 101-point lead over Doug. What does it mean? Burgess lays it out, but minimal effort for Torrance to go out there and get the job done. Qualify, get a couple qualifying points. If he qualifies number one, I think it's over because he'll get a first-round bye run. There's 15 cars entered. So if Torrance wins, if he earns the number one qualifying spot, he's the champ, things like that. But many little caveats. Remember, he missed a race. So as much as this is close, it's not really that close. Is it a full season? No, it's not a full season. It's not. It's a special year that things happen that's crazy. But in a shortened season where each race counts as more, Steve and his dad missed a race. And Steve is more than likely, barring some craziness like Tony Schumacher predicted, The Run Part 2, like a sequel to The Run. But in this version, Doug comes out on the other end of it. Like, wow, that'd be crazy if it happened. And amazing. It will be talked about forever. But Steve and his team have really earned the championship. They missed a race. And they still have more points by 101. No disrespect to anyone, just a statement of fact. And as much as there have been so many tragedies this year to keep count of, I think about Dominic Lagana and all that they went through and the emotion and the win with Garlitz and just all the things that have happened in this shortened, abbreviated season. So for Steve to win the title, that would be cool. And Brandon Snyder's got the lead in E3 Pro Mod. All right. While I've been talking to you guys, there have been, wait a second, time for happy hour. Biscayne Bay, Miami Pale Ale, because I tried to rep the locals. I don't think this is available for you guys. But it is happy hour now. It's coming up on 5 o'clock. Get in on it with me. I should have called Jason Logan. I haven't had him or Corp. Listen, the off season can be full of it. And happy hours too. The Rick Jones Elite Pro Stock Happy Hour going to be interesting. Of course, I'll let Heiner crash it, see what happens. Maybe it'll turn into a brawl. All right, let's see. Some comments that came in a little late. Great to see you run the table talking about Aaron. I should have asked him about that. Congratulations, Aaron. Way to double up on the weekend. The first pro sportsman double up since Pat Austin Phoenix 92. He joins, like, I'm hitting the kid with all this amazing accolades, but really it's pretty crazy. He and Pat Austin share a stat. That's it. He's the 28th guy to double up. Just incredible. Let's see what Brian says. Joe, cheers. You going to make it to Vegas this weekend? Oh, yeah, no, I'm not. I'm going to stay here in sunny South Florida and take care of business and use my time wisely. I thought about going, and I decided against it. I thought about going out there and doing the old press the flesh and see everybody one last time here in 2020, this difficult year. I had some people invite me out there to just kind of come out and, do some, behind the scenes stuff and hang out. And I decided I have so much to do here. Assuming we get back to a normal schedule, I'll be back on the tour next year. And if we don't, there's no guarantee I'll be back on the tour at all. That's a fact. And so my memories of the Gator Nationals, if that's the last one, that'd be great. That would be great. And that's life as a radio guy. You don't even know if the station is going to be there tomorrow. So I speak in very stark terms always. Monica says, nice. Don't know what that's all about. Well-spoken. Yeah, sometimes when you're ahead and you're doing this stream of consciousness conversation, you don't really know the context of the comments. Very well-spoken, humble young man. Looks like our future is in good hands. Nice to see. There are pro stock Facebook pages all over Facebook. Groups, pro stock. I got in a debate. Who was it? Tim Charlet. Sorry, Tim. But there was a little Facebook debate about how many fans are there to see pro stock. And I just think the number's way higher than anybody else thinks it is. I think that pro stock, yes, the 300 mile per hour nitro cars are the ones that draw in the super casual fans. People who don't know what's going on or want to see something amazing. Yes, definitely. But in the scope of 100% of the fans, if you take out pro stock, I think at least 35% of the fans are dissatisfied. Now, that's my number. Maybe the number is, he said, 1,000 people out of 20,000. Sorry, Tim. Revealing your business. When you put it on the net, man, it becomes public. Sorry. And I think that's crazy. When I go to my local bracket track, everyone asks me. They don't ask me about John Force, and they don't ask me about nitro. They don't ask me about 6-disc clutches. They ask me about pro stock. Not just one person, like 10 people. Sportsman racers see pro stock, and they aspire to it. Aaron is a perfect example. And these Facebook pages, and you post pictures and you post shots, hot shots of the pits and stuff. What's more important to post is Aaron Stanfield showing his character, what kind of kid he is, and talking about and talking about these great people. This is the kind of personality. Is he in your face? No, he's not in your face. Is he a great competitor? You heard him at the end. He's not afraid to talk. I don't show up to the track to lose. Oh, so you can be humble and intense and forceful with your competitiveness all at the same time? The answer is yes. I think there are people that want to root for a kid like that. You don't need to be in other people's face, as much as that can be fun. I think people just want to see someone who's a hard worker and a good person and intense and has skill. And that's what Aaron Stanfield is. And we'll see. Let's see what Kyle has to say. Can't wait to be there, saying 10% full. I think it holds 16,000. And Alan was talking about this, percentage of what? Capacity, what capacity? I don't know. Jeff Foster would know the answer to this. To me, it doesn't matter. We got to finish the season. And the Strip in Las Vegas is, Gainesville Raceway is always going to be my favorite track because my personal connection to it. But my favorite place to be at a race is the Strip in Las Vegas. And it's definitely hurting and annoying, but we'll be back for 4 wide, or we'll be back for 4 wide. And we're going to get past this whole thing that's happening right now. And we're going to look back at it years from now and look at it as an inconvenience and an annoyance, and obviously a tragedy for some of our loved ones. I think about Jock's mom, but I'm not complaining about anything. Do you understand? I'm just not. I'm not going to complain about anything. There's too many people with too many real things to complain about. 10% full. That's fine. Jim Norris, what a great kid. So true. So true. Brian Brewster, about to be 4-time. At least that's my hopes. Good caveat there, Brian. This is pro stock. Nothing is easy. Nothing is easy. But one thing is, Erica is Erica. And so if anyone can hold up to it, she has proven she can in the past. I said it. What did I say? It was yesterday. And it was about the difference between faith and confidence. And I guess it was Tommy, which it ultimately didn't work out. But I said that I had faith in him. And then I said, no, I had confidence in him. Because faith is like, I don't want to say it's believing without a reason, but it's just strong belief. And confidence is because it's been proven over and over again. And Erica has earned the confidence that she can stand up in the most critical situation. It's just proven over and over again. So we'll see what happens. Not happening. Matt Smith going to crush him again. Talking about Eddie and getting side by side with Matt Smith. And I wonder, Eddie should do it. And when you go back and listen to the show, and you can fast forward through it because we did have some audio technical issues with TJ, but his word did get out. In fact, twice it got out. What total points available in Vegas? And this is Phil Burgess, but I'm smart enough to write this one down. 183 points are available. And that includes qualifying, get 15 points for qualifying and, the 30 for the round one loss. And like if you qualify 15th, because there's only 15 cars, and 48 points is what you get if you enter, qualify last, and lose first round. And you get no qualifying points. And 183 is the total at points and a half. Steve's got a 101 point lead. That's why pro stock, 30-point rounds, anything's possible. You got to get to the track. Tony Schumacher said it yesterday or 2 days ago, whenever it was. The most nervous he gets was when it's supposedly a foregone conclusion. You just got to show up there. Suddenly you're getting nervous just getting to the track. 1.5 points for all classes in the Camping World Drag Racing Series. Yes. The Camping World Drag Racing Series. The dreaded do or done line. Mike Dunn drove the New York Yankees dragster, and I've always been a fan of Mike, but is it good or is it not good that his lasting legacy is the do or done line? Like, it's still a thing. It's still a thing. And I think it will always be because of the alliteration, do or done. Let's see. And being the star of Decade of Thrills, that was also really cool for Mike Dunn. But come on, driving the New York Yankees dragster for Darrell Gwynn. Crossing the center line, not a good thing. Yeah, that would be bad. Imagine. Just imagine. Think about that. Here's one for you. Put in the comments section who you think will, not who you want, who you think will win the Funny Car World Championship. I want to see which direction this goes now with one race to go. And everybody pretty much within striking distance. Yeah, Hagen's got a little advantage, but you saw this past week, the points leader can go out first round and anything's possible. Pro stock is where it's at. Pro stock is where it's at. Underappreciated, just like anything that is really good. The masses, or there's all these different statements, right? The masses are asses. There's all these different statements about it. Pro stock requires just a little bit more understanding. It's not only about the speed and the noise, which Top Fuel and Funny Car, no disrespect. I understand the next level there too and love it. But we're talking about the casual person that walks through the gate to see something like, oh man, I heard these cars go 330 miles an hour. Let's check them out. Pro stock needs a slightly next level understanding that it's about being perfect. And I like it. Always have. I hate seeing when the fans leave the stands when pro stock is up. And everybody talks about that, and it's a bad argument because the crowd that is left is still the biggest crowd for any form of drag racing anywhere. There is no other form of drag racing anywhere that has more fans in the stands than when pro stock is running, except for the nitro cars, which is understandable. People have just sat there for an hour and 45 minutes or whatever it is, an hour and a half, and pro stock rolls around the corner, and some who are unindoctrinated like many or don't understand or have to go to the bathroom or have a little kid, they go down. Maybe they come back. They go watch the teardowns in the pits. When I see, like, you have people leaving, it's a bummer. But then you look back up there and you see the crowd that is left. That's still a good crowd. And that's the way I choose to look at it. Derek, am I the only one on YouTube today? Yeah, the YouTube audience. So sad, Derek. I'm going to do a YouTube only show at some point. It's going to be YouTube only. And we'll see how that goes. Get people. And that's where I'll reveal all the deep, dark secrets that I normally talk about on Patreon, patreon.com/WFO Radio. That's what the Patreon shows are about. It's where I reveal like all the behind the scenes stuff that will get me in trouble if I reveal here. People pay for it. Dugenet, what's up, Dugenet? Yeah, you got to call me about those hats, brother. Let's see. I'm just kicking tire, man. Just kicking tire. People want WFO hats, and I just need to educate myself, and I know that you'll help me do that. Pro Stock is, Nitrofish is on the scene. Brandy Lynn, Bo, they're dealing with the final. They were going to get married. Think about that. Just 2020, crazy. Pro Stock is NHRA drag racing. It's why Factory Stock is so popular. If you take them out, you will look like the hardcore car guys. Nitro is fun, but that's what gets the novice staying hooked. That was my interpretation of what you wrote, Dugenet. Am I falling behind? I'm way behind on these comments, guys. It's time for another sip of happy hour. Hopefully you're all enjoying. Not my favorite, got to tell you. I bought it because it says Miami on the label, and I want to rep my hometown, but it's not my favorite. You should definitely try it for yourself, though. Hey, Joe, the volume of your podcast seemed lower in the last month, and it's harder to hear while driving. All right, we can crank them up. I don't know why that would be. My levels are approximately the same, a little behind the scenes. Clint Rigby told me, he's like, Joe, when you're looking around, we don't think you're not connecting with us. And I was like, that's true. But like when I'm picking these comments, like when I'm looking over here at 72 Olds, I got to pick these comments. And so that's not why we're not connecting. Now we're connecting, and now we're not connecting and not. And plus I got my phone to make sure someone has texted me, all of these things. I'll work on that, 72 Olds. Thank you very much. And any kind of little things like that, joe@WFOradio.com. We appreciate that kind of stuff. It's not negative in any way. It's appreciated. Is there a way we could get better? Is there something we can do to service you guys better? Tell us. And there's a million things we could do better. I've improved the website over the past couple of days, made it, refreshed it a little bit, but it's got to get better. Everything has got to be constantly getting better. After all, we're drag racers and nothing can stay the same. Derek. Oh, wow. I've not noticed a difference personally listening on iPhone and Apple Podcast. I listen on Spotify. Spotify is really good, but SoundCloud is also really good. Apple Podcasts, in my opinion, is not as good, a little clunky, but there you can give us 5 stars and write a review. The website gives you a choice of many different places to listen to the show. WFOradio.com. Derek, I'm just late to the show, says Bobby Graham. Bobby Graham, whose wife got so angry at us yesterday because Bobby must have subscribed to the show through her Facebook feed or something, and her whole feed turned to WFO, and she even made a comment. Sorry if we got you in trouble, Bobby. Love that Yankee dragster. Yeah, it's right back there on our Christmas tree. I got a couple of die casts. Do you know what it meant to be a Yankee fan and have a Yankee dragster? It's insane. Oh, by the way, congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers and their fans. I think about Melissa Coleman and so many friends of mine that are diehard Dodger fans. You guys have been one of the best teams in baseball over the past 4 years, and excellent work. You got the job done. You deserve this. Since 1988, the Gibson, where he was wounded, he was out there in a wheelchair, wheeling himself around the bases. And now here we are in 2020, over 30 years. Wow. Congratulations to you guys, Dodger fans. Can't wait to knock you off the top with the New York Yankees next year. It actually is setting up perfectly. You may recall I said that it would have been terrible if the Yankees made it to the World Series and lost to the Dodgers. It will be even better if the Dodgers are World Series champions when the Yankees beat them next year. Oh, man, it's just setting up like storybook. Okay, here are the answers. Ready? 72 Old says it's going to be Beckman. Beckman losing first round, you'd think would come back with a vengeance. Scott says Hagen. Hagen's really good at Vegas. Hagen is a super competitor, and he's got the lead. And Dickey and all those guys over there, Alex, like all those guys, very tough, very tough. Bobby Graham says Hagen to win funny car because Schumacher blocking. I don't get that. What do you mean? Let's see. Pro Stock is so good, like Mr. Food. It's so good. The racing is fantastic. Yeah, it is, and the personalities and everything. I get excited when Pro Stock rolls around the corner. It was always like seeing Warren and Kurt Johnson roll around the corner in Gainesville from the stands. That was it. Seeing Frank Iaconio, seeing all of that stuff. Of course, the big, very well popular story of Don Campanello in the winner circle. We got Hagen. Mitchell says Hagen, so that's a couple for Hagen. Hagen. Monica says Hagen. Everybody going Hagen. Everybody going Hagen. Does anybody say TJ? That's the question. Hagen. Dugenet is back. I'm going with Hagen. Everybody's loving Hagen. Just seems to find a way and rise to the occasion. He would be a 3-time champion. That's very significant. Hagen, says Bobby Graham. Comp then Pro Stock, the thinking game. Yeah, I was having a good conversation about Competition Eliminator with Ed Federkyle the other day. And it is. Comp Eliminator is next level brain stuff. Hagen, but I want TJ to win. Thank you, Jim. Thank you for putting it that way. It would be nice. I have no opinion. In this deal, I have no opinion, genuinely. Hagen, Tommy, Beckman, you can see it all. The only thing you might think is that Tommy doesn't have a championship and has represented our sport so well for so long. It's one of those, he deserves to end a career with a championship because he's been so close so many times and done so well for so long. But they don't give championships away. You got to go earn them. And maybe he will. Maybe he will. Derek says, funny car, Tommy Johnson. All right. Yeah, I'm 2.5 minutes behind. That's okay, Derek. That's all right. I want TJ to win funny car, but I think Beckman will win it. Thanks, Joe. We're picking up the pace now. I have to go. He's got to go, guys. Everybody out there, he's got to go. But he'll catch the podcast later, says 72 Olds 455. That's fine. And the podcast is really how we prefer most people listen to the show, because that's where the bread and butter. And we add some stuff in there. And the Ignition show is, I like to think it's the best thing we do, honestly. Spotify on the TV sounds great. People are taking the show and putting it up to their big screen televisions. And surprisingly, it looks pretty well. Bobby Graham, no trouble, Joe. She just loves to rag me a little bit. She ragged all of us a little bit yesterday, Bobby Graham. Yeah, she was mad. And I was going to engage with her and tell her some of the stuff that you told me. But then I decided to hold it back. LA Dodgers came from Brooklyn. You should like them. No, I should not. The bums, man. I'm a New York Yankees fan. Highlanders. No. And I'm born in South Florida. Everybody thinks I'm from Jersey. Parents are Jersey. I'm SoFlo. It's like Jersey, but with much less edge. We're very laid back. We still have the ball busting and the fun and all of that. Still get it, but less intense. Mitchell, I would like to wish my friend Phil Green good luck in Las Vegas. He runs Pro ET Finals this weekend at the Strip. Well, great. Good luck, Phil. Way to go, Mitchell. Maybe Phil will win. Maybe we'll get Phil on the show. Everybody knows I love bracket racing, right? All this big money bracket racing stuff, talking about purses. And I was doing a hidden horsepower show today, and we had Al Parker from Parker Engines in Newton, Iowa. And this guy's been around a long time, and he ran Pro Stock back in the day, and now just killing it with sprint car engines, and has done sprint car engines for Sammy Swindell and Danny Lasowski and Kinzer and just like all the greats. The guy is, a legend. And that's going to be on Hidden Horsepower. Speaking of podcasts you should subscribe to. But he was talking about how engine programs are more expensive and payouts are less now, and that motorsports is in a tough spot, and that the rules makers are maybe doing a disservice by making all these rules that are intended to keep things cost effective, but because they're putting all these rules in place that are trying to keep things cost effective, it's causing more money to be spent because people are looking in thousands of different places and doing a lot of expensive things to the block, say, that causes the block to have to be handled by 5 different people instead of just buying a set of high-dollar cylinder heads, which would have accomplished the same goal. Follow? So when he was talking about payouts going down, I couldn't help but think about bracket racing and how bracket racing and big money bracket racing, like a kid that I know named Bailey Ferraro, comes from South Florida. His dad, Mike, and mom, Renee, they were the people like I raced against when I was bracket racing. In fact, in 1993, Mike, Bailey's dad, and I had this great 1993. I know. Yeah. Long time ago. Had a great championship battle down to the final round of the final race. If I won the final, I would be the track champion, and I lost the final. And I finished second. His kids are now hitting the big money bracket racing tour. The kid just won 50 grand this past weekend and runner-up at a previous race. 50 grand. And were there splits and cuts? Like, who knows? But there's money out there now. It costs money to make money. Sometimes the entry fee, it's $1,000, it's $2,000. But bracket racing is a good place to be right now. Especially if you got a, affordable door car that runs the number and you can let go of the button like I can very freakishly, consistently, and know how to drive the top end. Man, it would be real smart for someone to put me in a car. But I digress. Representing Gainesville Raceway. Thanks, Mitchell. Can't wait. And we are to our final comment. That's where it will end. The comment was supposed to be erased about Schumacher. Oh, Bobby, it's okay. Bobby Graham was out there, part of our mob at the Texas Motorplex, hanging out with everybody. I won't tell your wife all those things you said. I promise. All right, everybody, this is it. The ceremonial end of the week for me. I'm pretty excited because I got a doctor's appointment tomorrow. That's not what I'm excited about. I'm excited because at Homestead Miami Speedway, Fast Lane Friday, the pit road drag racing gig that I have occasionally, is back for the very first time since COVID. When, I did not go to Vegas, I was fortunate to be able to fill the Friday night portion of this weekend. And so I will be on pit road at Homestead Miami Speedway with all our South Florida test and tune guys running down pit road for the first time since this whole COVID catastrophe has occurred. And I'm very excited about it. I'm sure I'm going to wear one of these WFO Radio face coverings. Where is it? Where's the face covering? If you don't know about the face coverings by now, you should know it. Let's see. Some of those entry fees are crazy. Yeah, you can end up, what did Fletcher say? $4,700. He was out the door after you're there. All right. So you got to buy back. You're there, but you got to buy back if you lose, because that's opportunity cost. You've already spent the money to get there. So you got to buy back. I got a friend who doesn't buy back when he goes bracket racing, and I'm trying to break him of it. Like, you have already spent the money to get here. You're here now. And now you can spend half of what you did the first time to get back in and have to run one less round. Buybacks are mandatory. But when the entry fee is $2,000 and the buyback is $600, whatever it is at the particular race, that's real money we're talking about. And only one guy can be the winner. But they do have these big cuts. All right, here, WFO Radio face covering, WFOradio.com. It's $10. I'm going to throw some WFO Radio stickers in there. You're going to get the face covering. That way you can go wherever you want and be in full compliance while repping WFO and all the good in the world that we do. WFOradio.com. Go to the website. You can use PayPal. You can use a credit card. You cannot feed cash into your computer screen. That will not work. I apologize. If you would just like some stickers, that's fine too. I'd prefer you get the face covering, but I get it. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to P.O. Box 848-353, Pembroke Pines, Florida, 33084. Do it. Shout out to our sponsors like Marvin Rodak. The hot sauce that I love is called Habanero Endorphin Booster. I think you could also refer to it as the one that Joe loves. It is genuinely the best hot sauce that is available on the market. You could take the Pepsi Challenge with anything. And yes, I guess now I can start using Pepsi Challenge references again. Call Marvin, 817-924-6821. And SAMTech, what more can you say that Colliner are graduates of SAMTech and they go to work at Stanfield and now they're world champions? It is the foundational education for racing, not just drag racing, but all forms of racing. There are SAMTech grads everywhere throughout racing. SAMTech.edu. Total Seal Piston Rings, the leader in ring seal technology. TotalSeal.com, from bracket engines to street engines to stock eliminator, super stock, all the way up to the nitro ranks and Top Fuel Harleys. Formula One, some of those cars have Total Seal piston rings. Why spend all that money on everything else and then just throw some rings in it? That's not smart. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, November 20th. The Fall Adventure. You should definitely do this if you're in the area. Courses start at $399. It's going to be great. You're going to have a lot of fun. Bring your fam. Do something special. Enjoy the fall in Gainesville. It's going to be beautiful. And go to frankhawley.com to find out more. Tell me you heard about it on WFO. Also, mentioning WFO gear, the people who help us with our gear is nitrofishracing.com. Randy Lynn and Bo, the retiree, Bo Butner. Go to Nitrofish Racing. You can find our 10th anniversary t-shirt, the Podfather of drag racing. It's kind of cool. And I think you'll like it. That's a great way to support the show. And I got a text from someone. They're going to be, wasn't on the show. They're going to be wearing their WFO Radio t-shirt out there. WFO Gear Day at the race is Saturday, just so you know. Now, there is no Friday anymore. So Saturday, because everyone needs to wear their driver's gear on Sunday. And that's it. All right. Time to get on out of here. It's officially happy hour. You know what I'm going to do? So it's going to be light. Since it's going to be light, I think I'm going to go fire up my my own bracket card. I haven't fired that thing up in a minute. Got to fire it up. We'll see. If not now, then tomorrow. Final comments. Post some Insta pics at the back. I will. If you want to follow me on Instagram, at WFO Joe. That's all my stuff. Follow me at WFO Joe. Follow the show at WFO Radio. You got to buy back. It's math, man. It's math. It's a financial decision. If you're going to the track and you're not buying back, you are lowering your odds of winning dramatically. And I'm not one of these math guys that can calculate it out, but you don't have to be. The gas to get there, the time to get there, the amount of times you're going to lose first round, you have to buy back. Now, does everybody buy back? No, some people don't. And that increases your chances of winning even more by buying back. It's just a no-brainer. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thanks to Aaron Stanfield and his dad, Greg. Always so nice. Greg Stanfield might be the first person to ever have a WFO radio sticker on his car. Maybe of anybody. Kurt Johnson had a Power Shift sticker, Power Shift, my XM satellite radio show. Kurt had it on his car. Greg Stanfield might be the first person to ever have a WFO radio sticker on his car. And Aaron put a WFO radio sticker on his top dragster. There's one on the Super Stalker. They have been such great supporters of WFO Radio because they recognize, we're in a battle for our lives. We're the mom and pop store going up against the big corporation. We are trying. Tonsil Tickler, #1. Bobby Graham just wanted to get that in there. I don't like it that much. It's not as good as the Habanero Endorphin Booster. All right, everybody, that's going to do it. We'll see you next time. Have a great weekend. Enjoy Vegas. Winners next week. WFO.